Peace of the planet. How y'all living? It's Adise the Bishop. My voice is weird because I have allergies and I took some kind of new nasal spray thing and it messed my voice up. So that's one of the reasons I haven't really been recording. I'm trying to like I haven't been using it, but I think I don't want to say the damage is done, but it's gonna be a minute. Um, I want to talk. I hope you're doing well, first of all, but I do want to talk about something that happened to me recently and historic practices that come with it. I had to get a colonoscopy. This is not a fun conversation. I had to get a colonoscopy, and it turned out well. It turned out there were no polyps. I am 56. This was my second colonoscopy. I'd been putting it off for about 4 years. I had one 4 years ago, and what it was that a really good friend of mine had some shoulder pain. Went to the doctor. They couldn't figure out what was going on. Started doing all these different tests on him. Turned out he had colon cancer. It was very sad, but he's been navigating that fight with incredible skill and dignity, and it inspired me to go get a colonoscopy. That's how I ended up doing it because he was younger than me, right? He was younger than me, so um, I got my first colonoscopy, and there was a precancerous polyp found in my colon. And I asked the guy, I was like, so what do I do after this? He was like, nothing, just come back in a couple of years. I was like, I don't need to be vegan. I don't need to be whatever. He was like, no, no, just do what you want. But I'm going to tell you, I definitely cleaned my diet up. I was already eating cleaner anyway. And I never ate too crazy, but I have eaten crazy enough. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to try to be cool. So I did. And I tried to eat like I already had cancer. Now, you know, I got a sweet tooth. But besides that, I ate relatively clean and drank things that I knew would, tone down inflammation, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, I was overdue, and then my insurances changed, and so I was like, I was just getting ready to get my colonoscopy when my insurances changed, and I liked the doctor I had, um, really great doctor, and I didn't want a new doctor, but I did need this colonoscopy, so I called in and I started getting all this stuff together. If you've never had a colonoscopy, the procedure itself isn't that bad, but everyone that gets it will tell you the worst part about it is drinking the stuff you got to drink the day before the procedure. So let's talk a little bit about Memento Mori, right? Um, we avoid thinking about death. You know what I'm saying? But a colonoscopy is a direct confronting of your own mortality. I remember laying there, blinking, looking at the ceiling, and being like, "Damn, what if like this is the day they tell you, like it's really real?" You know what I'm saying? Um, and you've got it. Like, how will you respond? Who will you be if that happens? Right? How will you change, or will you change if that happens? And the other thing is, getting a colonoscopy or a lot of these other like checkup style, biopsy style kind of procedures, right? They're all forms of the Stoic voluntary hardship, right? Voluntary hardship is where you deliberately choose discomfort to build resilience, right? So Stoics might do this by like sometimes I'll sleep on the floor with just a blanket. I won't sleep in my bed. Sometimes I'll eat a salad with no dressing at all. Just eat the vegetables, right? Sometimes you'll get whatever your meal is and you won't add soy sauce, you won't add barbecue. You'll eat what you get, right? You live a lot more simply. Um, sometimes like cold showers are a voluntary hardship, right? And they're really good for your body. But I'm just saying, like, that's what voluntary hardship is. So I also had to kind of confront the dichotomy of control that I could do all these things. Like, you tried to eat better, you've jogged a bit, you've been sticking with the jujits, you've been, you know what I mean, meditating, and taking all these different teas and herbs and eating, clean, right? But recognizing that the dichotomy of control is in play, right? Like, you could do everything right and it could be just in your genetic makeup to end up having it, because both of my grandmothers had died of cancer, and my grandmother on my father's side died of colon cancer at 65. I'm 56. So I was scared, and both of my grandfathers died of heart attacks, I think before they were 50. um, And so it was very troubling, right? It was very troubling. Um, but right, recognizing the dichotomy of control. I'm not in control of what they find. I'm not in control of how my body has responded to what I've tried to do with the best intentions, right? So you know how like sometimes people do all this stuff and then it doesn't work and they're like, oh, I don't know why I did that. I don't, it's like, yo, like nothing, very few things are a guarantee. Um, and so I could only focus on what was in my power, and also recognizing that for to no matter what degree you are healthy, that the body is not permanent. It is not a permanent vehicle, and you know I have to be honest about that, and just I try to treat my body like it's a car I really love. It's a car I really love, and so um I started a week out. I started fasting because you're not supposed to eat like the day before, right? So I kind of started fasting like 2 meals a day to like 1 meal a day, right? High fiber, high protein, um, and then when I had to do the day of, like the day before, you go through this day where you're just doing like clear stuff. So it's like water, tea, coffee, and then high protein bone broth, right? And sea moss gel. Sea moss gel, if you guys aren't using it, you're slipping. Sea moss gel. I make my own. If you don't make your own, check out Ralston or Halston, use the R like a H. Halston Gracie sells some really great sea moss gel. I make my own at home, and I eat it pretty much every day. Basically, sea moss gel is like some seaweed kelp type stuff you get out the ocean, and you rinse it out. You put it in a blender with some water after you soak it, and it turns into this gel after you put it in this blender. And like a tablespoon of it gives you like a day's worth of vitamin, right? So a lot of times when people fast, what is the problem with doing 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day? Is that if they're not eating, vitamin rich and mineral rich foods or having a decent amount of supplements in tandem with that, you can deplete your body, right? So CMOS gel is great. Don't take it too much because you can get iodine poisoning. It does come out of the ocean, has a lot of iodine, but great, 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 great tool for health. So I do that day, and then Gabalite. This is what we all hate. This is what every person who gets a colonoscopy has to drink. You got to drink it from here, homie, all the way down, all the way down, and it's gonna clear you out like nothing else, brother. And so I had to drink like half of it at night, and then I drink the second half in the morning. This stuff doesn't taste great. They have this like right here, it's sticky right here because there's this little thing. It says lemon flavored packet. It's not lit. It's not lit. It's not lit. And you're not supposed to eat anything. Now I'm about to get into some dangerous territory. I didn't really eat anything. When I was at the hospital, there was a guy next to me who was like he had been eating food and they canceled his colonoscopy. They were like, "Well, when was the last time you ate food?" And he had, "Well, I had a sandwich and something." They were like, "We can't do it." And he was like, "Well, I don't think I want to come back and do this again because it doesn't feel good drinking the Gabalite. You're gonna be pooping a lot, everything. When I say everything, um, and I remember saying, "Wow, I can't believe he had a sandwich or whatever, and then took this stuff, but didn't respect the window of not eating, right?" And I wondered if he did it because he was afraid they would find something, or if he just wasn't taking it seriously. But they did not do the procedure with the guy in the bed to my right. Um, I don't like being put under. I got put under a couple years ago when I had this H. pylori thing going on, and it's always a little scary, you know. Um, but this second time, I have to say, because I entered it with more of a stoic practice mind in terms of voluntary hardship, memento mori, dichotomy and control. the procedure of drinking this stuff and everything else, it didn't bother me like not even 2% as much as it did the first time. A lot of people are like, oh, this, oh, that, but I'm like, yo, I got to do this to live. This is fine. I can deal with this for 48 hours of not having your favorite foods or whatever. But I'm going to give you a cheat code. Now, I need to say this, guys. Before I tell you something that I did to get through drinking this, I'm going to say that I'm not a doctor at all. I'm not a doctor at all. So, one of the things that I did to suffer through drinking this, because it's hard, it doesn't taste good, guys, is I eat clear gummy bears. I eat clear gummy bears to throw this taste off because this doesn't taste good. I eat clear gummy bears only, not red, not green, not blue, not right. Now, Haribo gummy bears come in all kinds of colors. Also, a lot of people don't know if you look on the back of a packet of gummy bears, some come from Turkey. All of the ones from Turkey are halal, meaning that they're safe for Muslims and Jews to eat. So I'll get a pack of the alphabet soup ones, and they have clear gummy bears. I'll take all those clear ones out. I will get the Smurf gummy bears. The Haribo Smurf gummy bears come from Turkey exclusively. Um, I don't think all the other ones do, but you have to look on the back to look to see that it comes from Turkey. Comes Turkey, it's halal. I'll take the Smurfs because they're blue and they have the white hats on top. You can't eat Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf is red and blue. That's gonna mess everything up. Can't have no dyes in your system. I'll pinch the body of the Smurf and eat the hat, and then I just put the rest in the bag for the day after. And then I'll eat the clear letters, right? I'll put pictures and thing, you'll see. But I don't chew on them, guys. I park them in the back of my mouth and I rub my tongue against them to throw off the gabaline. Now, again, because it's clear and I'm not chewing it, don't play games with what I'm telling you. Because one time, the first time, I chewed some gummy bears when I got my first one. And I told him, I said, dude, this stuff tastes so horrible. I thought I was going to throw up. I don't like it. This time, I don't know if the taste was a little bit better than last time, but it didn't make me want to throw up as much. But I still didn't like the taste. So I kept those clear gummy bears every not all the time, but every, once or twice an hour, I put one or two gummy bears in to get through it. I go to the procedure. I'm on the gurney thing, you know, and I felt good that I did everything I said I was going to do. I fasted a week or two before, got into the low, the clear eating phase, right? Water, tea, coffee, um, electrolytes and the high protein soups, right? Then I drank this and I went in. I was happy that I had done that. I got into the thing. The doctor was so cool. I was a little scared. But what I did is I kind of had to frame it like, what's the word? Like you ever see like when they hit a lion with a tranquilizer and then they have it in the hospital room. I was like, you're a lion. They're just gonna tranquilize you. It's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Don't trip. Um, and I did a lot of breathing meditation while I was in the gurney. They rolled me down. I was chill. The doctor was like, "All right, this is what it's gonna be like. Um, put this thing in your nose, and then you'll pass out in a little bit." And because I was already in a meditative state, I went out like that. The procedure itself, I guess, lasted about a half hour. I came up. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" They were like, "Everything was cool back there. No cancerous polyps at all. You're all good." I was really proud of myself. I was really happy. I thought of my grandmother a lot because I would always say, well, you know, when I was 55, a year ago, she was, she had known that she might have colon cancer in 10 years. Like, would she have done something different? Probably, you know. Um, and so I did it out of a duty to try and live this one life I got to the fullest. And And so it came out well, like I said. And then um I took all the hatless gummy bears. I had them in my backpack. As soon as I got dressed, whatever, what was the first meal I ate? For some reason I don't remember. Uh what was the first meal I ate? Oh, you know what it is? Um, so I had my boy Nils come swoop me. Shout out to the G Nils, know what I mean? How Gracie represent. He came and picked your boy up. Apparently some colonoscopies can be rough, but mine have not been rough by the grace of God. And I bought vegetable tempura and some sushi. And then I came home and I think I fell asleep for like 5 hours. I had some fruit juice that I made because you know I'm always juicing. Um, some fruit juice with the sushi. Excuse my voice, guys. I have fruit juice with the sushi, and then I fell asleep for like 5 hours. Woke up, ate the other half of the sushi with I got what do you call it? So I ate the sushi, and then I had what's that one? The saba, the mackerel, the grilled mackerel with rice. Had that. Slept for another five. And when I woke up after that second five, 100%. I'm gonna go because my voice is tripping. I don't want to have you guys suffer through this. I'm gonna try to fix my voice. So if you see me posting a little bit less or just writing things more, that's what's happening. While I try and let this voice get fixed. Anyway, one love. Get a colonoscopy. Do stoic practices like Memento Mori. Look into it. Put it in AI. Do look into stoic practices like the dichotomy of control, right? Um, and voluntary hardship. Get a colonoscopy. Don't run from whatever health things kind of run in your family. Like just get them checked out because life is beautiful and it's so short that you want to make the most of every day, every breath. Okay. I'll see you guys soon. Um, oh, also the jujitsu event that was supposed to happen this weekend is off. Um, and so just letting you know that. Don't worry about it, but it's not happening. So anyway, I'm out. Have a super blessed one. Get your colonoscopy. Use the gummy bear method. Um, Clear gummy bears only to keep in the back of your cheek for flavor. Do not chew them. When I did my first one, I meant to tell you the colonoscopy guy was like, "Hey, there's your gummy bear." He took a picture of it. So they don't fully digest, guys. So keep them in the back of your mouth and don't ever eat the colored ones. Don't forget I said that. Don't forget red, blue, yellow, whatever. Don't only clear. And if you're Muslim or Jewish, only the ones from Turkey. Okay. One love. I'm gone. Stay blessed. Talk soon. I'm out of here.